Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about how your crush thinks you perceive them. And I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out. But let's focus on this reading right here, right now. Pick your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? How does group number 1's crush think group number 1 is perceiving them? Okay, so I'm sensing that this person, the person who is your crush, I think this person thinks you perceive them as entitled and privileged and maybe a bit spoiled. And I think this person, I don't think this person actually believes that your perception of them is flattering at all. I think this person thinks you perceive them as rather annoying and maybe even kind of insufferable. And I don't think this person would ever guess that you have a crush on them. I think that is completely, that would be very, very surprising to them to hear, like if they heard that. Because I think this person kind of feels like you don't even like them that much. And I think this person believes that you don't like them that much because you think of them as somebody who hasn't worked very hard for the things that they have in life, that they feel like you might see them as someone who has just been very lucky and who has been served, that this person has been served everything on a silver platter, that this person didn't have to do anything to get the things that they have, that everything was just handed to them. And I think this person, like, I don't even know if this is real, like if that's how you truly feel about them. I don't think it is, because you obviously have a crush on this person. So I think it's very unlikely that you actually feel this way about them. But I think this person just is afraid that you feel that way. Maybe because this person has kind of analyzed some of your reactions. Like maybe this person started talking about something and they might have felt like this. They might have felt that you disapproved of them talking about something, because you and they might have kind of assumed that the reason why you disapproved of them talking about this topic was because they thought you felt like they couldn't actually have an opinion on this because it wasn't directly concerning them, and that they hadn't experienced whatever this person was talking about, that in order to form an opinion about something, you kind of have to have lived it in order to actually be able to talk about it. And like maybe this person tried to talk about something like homelessness or something like that that this person has absolutely no experience with, because this person has never been homeless at all and has very likely lived with his or her, I don't want to assume any gender here, but like this person has lived with their parents likely for a long, like I don't think this person was like put on the street when they turned 18 or something like that. I think this person lived at home until like they were maybe in their mid-20s, and I think this person has very wealthy parents, and I think it's just maybe it kind of seems a bit provoking for somebody who has had everything kind of handed to them to then suddenly try to discuss a topic like poverty or homelessness or how hard it is for immigrants, or like it might have just come across as a bit a bit off, like a bit out of tune, or like kind of not really and maybe this person kind of felt that judgment from you, even though you might not have said anything about it, but it might, like maybe you rolled your eyes or did something, like maybe you had some non-verbal reaction that this person picked up on and realized that maybe this person wasn't supposed to talk about this with you, and maybe that you were even judging them for even going there, like, and so this person might also have been complaining about financial issues to you, and maybe you felt like that was not that was a bit silly, because like if this person doesn't have like money at the end of the month, then it's very unlikely that this person is going to starve, because this person could just call up their parents, and then their parents would send money to them. And so this person doesn't really know what it's like to actually be starving at the end of the month, because there's no money left and there's no one to call. Like, and I think maybe you felt a bit like this person doesn't know what it's like to live a difficult lifestyle, to have a rough life, and that it's kind of a bit of a joke that this person then complains about small issues that are very trivial. So I don't know, but I think like at the end of the day, like even though you might kind of feel like this person is a bit privileged and a bit entitled, I think you really like this person despite all that. Like so, and I think that's maybe what this person isn't really realizing, is that I think this person just believes that you have doomed them to be to be just a spoiled brat, and that you don't want to have anything like to do with them other than maybe being friends with them. Like that this person feels like maybe you just, and I don't even feel like this person I think this person doesn't even think you want to be friends with them, because this person feels like maybe you just see them as a bit tone deaf, that you're that they are not, like that they are a bit tone deaf. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit and see what the cards have to say about how this person feels like you perceive them. Okay, with a strength card reversed, I think this person might perceive you as, or that this person might think that you perceive them as not very strong. That they might feel like you think of them as weak because of their upbringing, because they haven't had a rough life, that they've never had to take care of themselves completely, or like that they've always had somebody to help them with stuff, like that maybe they feel like you see them as this weak person, wimpy, that they've never had to do hard labor, that they probably have very thin skin on their hands, like they haven't acquired like rough skin because they haven't had to do anything like big physical labor, hard physical labor. And maybe they feel like you see them as somebody who has been a bit protected in their life, that maybe I think this person feels like you're maybe more cool, and that you have like maybe some street cred, and that maybe they feel like they don't have that, like that they are like the opposite of that. They don't know any of the street lingo or anything like that. This person was brought up in a bit of a protected environment, might seem a bit like they were that they've lived under a rock throughout most of their life. Like they might not really understand some of the references, and like because this person has lived a very micromanaged life where their parents have been in control over a lot of aspects of their life, and they've not had the privacy to actually do anything like on their own. Maybe they haven't even like played outside when they were children. Like they might not have been allowed to go out and play with random kids like outside without adult supervision. And so that might make this person a little bit or this person is a bit afraid that maybe you see them as someone who has had it very easy, had a very protected life, very overprotective parents, and that you only know one little part of life, and that maybe this person also feels a bit like you see them as unexperienced in worldly matters, or like things that are outside of their local community, like that. But I don't think you see them that way at all. But they might feel a bit like you see that you're friends with people who are much more interesting, like that you have some friends who have been through tough things, like who've lived rough lives, and maybe they feel a bit like they don't really fit into your usual type of people, like the type of people you usually associate yourself with. Maybe they just feel a bit like maybe you see them as a bit boring because of where they come from and how they were raised. So with a Nine of Pentacles reversed, I think this person thinks that you perceive them as very dependent on others, that you're not independent, or that they are not independent, sorry, that they feel like you feel like they are not independent enough, that they are too dependent on their parents and the help from their family. That I think this person would want to be as independent as you are, but I think this person just feels like you don't respect them because they haven't the level of independence as you have, if that makes sense. With a Hanged Man, I think your crush feels like you perceive them as a bit of a procrastinator, somebody who's not really that you might see them as somebody who doesn't work very hard, that you just do things that they just do things last minute, and they might feel like you judge them a little bit for that, or that it's like you don't even like that they feel like you. I think this person feels like you don't have respect for somebody who doesn't work hard, like before an exam or something like that. I don't know if this is somebody you study with or that you used to study with, but maybe this person was kind of bragging at some point about how they passed an exam without even doing any of the reading. And maybe you said something like that. That's not something you should brag about, or something like that. And I think this person kind of felt like that you were looking down on them for not putting in the effort, and that maybe you thought of them as somebody who never actually puts in a proper effort. That you just that you think of them as somebody who just somehow passes everything because of their family, because of their wealth, or because of the way they look, or because they are white and privileged because of that, or like something like that, where maybe it's just all in this person's head. But I think this person feels like you think this person doesn't have to work as hard as everybody else to get the same results as everybody else, and that this person doesn't think it's because you think of them as overly intelligent, but more that somehow you just have that somehow this person has a way of charming people, or getting good grades because this person just has a way of charming themselves into the teachers, putting in a ticket before the exam, like kind of buttering up the teachers, kind of passing by doing maybe other things than actually being smart. I don't know. But I think that's how this person thinks you feel, but about them. But I think it's not necessarily personal to. I think this person feels that way about everybody. Like, I think this person just has a fear that everybody just thinks they just cruise through life without having to lift a finger. And I think this person feels like that's kind of a misconception, because I think they feel like they actually do the work. that it's not how people think. Like that, I think that, and I think this person would explain that to people, but I think this person just feels like people wouldn't believe them if they actually said that they do also put in, that they do actually put in as much work as everybody else. Even though I don't really, I don't know if that's completely true, but that's this person's truth. I think they feel like they're being misjudged by people who think they just are lucky in life, that they just yeah, I don't know. But with the Five of Swords reversed, I think this person thinks you perceive them as somebody who gets picked first and somebody who has always been picked first, like in school, like in gym class, like whenever there was like whenever they had to play football in school or something like that, then I think this person just assumes that you would assume that they were the type of person who got picked first at everything, and that maybe it's because this person is like used to be, I feel like this person used to be quite popular in school, and I think this person feels like you know that about them, that's why they think they think you feel like they've had it easy, because they were the type of person who got picked first. So that they've never experienced the feeling of being picked last. I think this person has never been bullied, and might even have been the type of person who bullied others in school, but not necessarily, like, I don't think this person was directly bullying anyone, but I think this person was in a group of friends, like in a friend group where some of the friends of this person did actually bully some people, and I think, like, I don't know if you actually went to school with this person, like when you were younger, like when you were children. I don't know, but I think this person, like if that's the case, I think this person feels like maybe you have seen this person kind of bully somebody in school, and maybe you have this assumption that this person was a bit of a bit of a bully, and that maybe you have a negative look on them because of that. But with the Moon card reverse, I also just feel like this person feels like you see them as somebody who never worries, that you have never had a worry, that they have never had a worry in their life. And I think that they feel like that's a misconception. I think they feel like you see that you see them in a different way than how they see themselves. Like I think they have had worries and have had difficult things to think about in their life, and difficult things that they've went through in their life. And I think they feel like if you just got to know them a bit more, like in a more personal way, I think they feel like they could actually prove to you that their life has not just been a dance on roses, that they have also had things to deal with that wasn't great. but I think at the moment, I think they just feel like you see them as somebody who has just been lucky in life, never had to worry, never had to work hard, and I think this person feels like you might not respect them because of that. So, but that's not true, because of course you have a crush on this person, so I think you do actually respect this person, but I think this person just feels that that you're maybe rolling your eyes at them sometimes, and that maybe you have verbally said to this person that you didn't feel like they could get involved in some topics that they know nothing about, and I think this person took that to heart. I think this person felt a bit sad about that, because they don't like I don't think this person likes that you see them this way, that you view them in this manner, because they do seem to recognize that it's not a very flattering light. Like it's not how they would want to be perceived. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Wonderland Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? How does group number 2's crush think group number 2 perceives them? Okay, so I think this person knows that you like them. I think this person has felt that. So I think this person feels like your perception of them is very likely very positive, because they have noticed that you seem to like them, that you seem to find them rather cute in some way. Like maybe you even said that to them, that they are quite cute, maybe in a different context, but like maybe you said something like you look very cute when you smile, or it's so cute that you like these things, or it's so like you might have said something like that, and that I think that was kind of that was something they remembered, like, and like it and I think that is how they, like, that is one of the things that makes this person believe that your perception of them is rather positive, because it seems like you have already kind of called this person cute in some way, or a word that is close to that. So I think this person knows that you have a fondness towards them, that you seem to, and I think this person also feels a chemistry between you two, that it seems like you seem to have a very good connection, and I think this person can really feel that. But I think this person might have some insecurities about the way that they look. And I think it might be something this person thinks about. Maybe because you said this person was cute, and like you didn't say that this person was handsome or pretty, or like, and you, of course, you don't have to say something like that I'm not sensing that this person would want you to say that to them, but I think it made, like, I think this person is just a bit insecure, and they don't really know if if you like them in a friendly way, or because I feel like this like even though this person has felt the chemistry between you two, and the chemistry is undeniably romantic, but I think this person is psyching themselves by kind of second guessing themselves and asking themselves whether maybe you're interested in their person, that you're interested in their personality despite their physical appearance, that they might feel like you like them because they make funny jokes, or because they have this charisma or charm, but that it seems like a minus for you, like a downside, that maybe this person is a bit overweight, or like or has some imperfections, like maybe acne or something, and that I don't think you actually I don't think you actually have a problem with this, but I think in this person's mind they just don't understand why you're interested in them, because I think this person feels like nobody is interested in them because of their acne or their weight or like something like that. That it's just that everybody they meet that they have a romantic connection with always ends up friend zoning them, and I think this person suspects that the reason why they keep getting friend zoned is because of the way they look. And so I think this person is just afraid that this connection is the same, like that it's that the outcome is going to be the same. Like, so I think this person has a hard time believing that you're actually physically attracted to them. But I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about, or like shuffle like, to start with. Like, I haven't shuffled at all, but I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Okay, so I think with the Eight of Wands, I think this person feels a little bit like this. It kind of actually makes sense here. Like I think this person sees you as this Alice here, and this person feels like they are this overweight dog that is just like this big elephant in a glass store. Like this person feels like they are maybe like, even if this person isn't overweight, they might just feel very clumsy and very like they don't have the elegance and the sophistication that maybe you have. Like this person feels like they are just big and broad and like and kind of that they just feel somehow big or clumsy, and a bit rough around the edges, and like a bit like a diamond in the rough, like diamond in the rough, like rough. Yeah, no, sorry. So with the Death reversed, I think this person thinks you perceive them as somebody who's not very transformative. That you're not very adaptive, that they are not very adaptive, that maybe they feel a bit like maybe maybe when they met you, they were kind of maybe not in their comfort zone, and maybe they felt a bit like like they were a bit uncomfortable because it was maybe people that they didn't really know, and maybe they felt like maybe you thought of them as this charity case because they kind of maybe was a bit shy around people and felt a bit like they didn't really fit in, and maybe you you showed this person some sympathy, or like tried to comfort this person in, or not comfort them, but like maybe you tried to kind of make this person feel a bit more included or something like that. And I think this person felt a bit like that you shouldn't have felt the need to do that. And I think this person judges themselves for giving off some kind of vibe that you picked up on, that they were insecure. Like I don't think this person wants to be perceived as insecure, and I think that's also why this person, like if you have said something, like if you have complimented them on their appearance, I think this person has felt like that shouldn't be necessary. Like you shouldn't feel the need to validate them, or because I think they want to be perceived as cool and confident, and they are trying very hard to give off a very confident vibe. And if you have then complimented them on their appearance, I think they just felt like you were just doing that to be nice, to hype them up, and I think this person just felt like maybe you thought of them as a little bit weak, or and I don't know, I don't think that's the case at all, but I think this person actually, like, despite all that, I think this person knows that you're interested, and I don't know if it was because you actually told this person about it, that you told this person, like, when at some point when you were drunk or something, that maybe you said to this person that you found them to be very cute, and maybe you even said something about having feelings for them. But I think maybe the next day when this person was sobered up and looked back on that incidents, then I think this person just, I think this person assumed that maybe you weren't being serious. That maybe it was just because you were drunk, and that maybe they shouldn't really they shouldn't read too much into it, and maybe they were also trying to protect their own heart by maybe like telling themselves that, or second guessing themselves and thinking like, oh, that was just something you said, like, and it wasn't serious, and they shouldn't make too much out of it, and that I think they have also kind of psyched themselves into believing that it's a good idea not to ever mention it at all, not because this person doesn't want to, because I think this person feels the chemistry between you two, and I think this person wants there to be mutual feelings between you two, but I think this person has a hard time believing that there could be mutual feelings here. Mostly because I think this person sees you as somebody who's out of their league, that you're too pretty, too attractive, and in their mind they just see themselves as like this blob, and like this that nobody would ever be like. I think this person just believes that that it's very it's very unlikely that you would be physically attracted to them because of the way that they look. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the way they look, but somehow they believe that it must be their physical appearance that is that must be some kind of that must be repulsive in some way, because I think this person has had experiences in the past where they had a great connection with someone and felt that there was chemistry, but then this person ended up being friend-zoned, and maybe they just assumed that the reason must have been because of their physical appearance. And I think this person just assumes that you would also friend-zone them because of their physical appearance. So with the Two of Wands reversed, I think this person thinks you perceive them as somebody who that you perceive them as somebody who's not not reactive enough, like that you're not responding enough, that you seem to think I think this person feels like you want them to make a move, like that it seems like it's on them, that it's that the task is on them, like that it's their job to make a move. And I think this person can kind of tell that, like that you seem to be expecting something from them. I think this person also can tell, because I think this person has a very good sixth sense. Like I think this person is very good at like sensing what other people are expecting, or like and what other people are thinking. And I think this, even though I think the insecurities, they can blind even the most intuitive person. Like intuition is one thing, but it can so easily be blindsided by with your own. Like that's also why it's so hard to read tarot for yourself, like because we're so blindsided by our insecurities, by what we expect, what we how we like, and we get blindsided also by our past experience. Like we think that our past experiences will somehow be this, like repeat themselves in the future, and like that there's gonna be some kind of extrapolation, and that's not always the case. But our brain, we kind of, especially when we read for ourselves, we think that this way. But that's just another thing. I wasn't going to talk more about that. But yeah, I think this person thinks that that you're that you expect them, like they can tell that you expect them to say something. They can tell like when they are in I think you two have had some conversations together. I'm kind of sensing that. So I think in those conversations, I think this person could tell that you wanted them to say something more, like to talk about the feelings or the chemistry or the romantic aspect of this connection. And I think this person just chickened out. Like they could tell that it was something on your mind, but they just were too afraid that if they brought it up, that you would friend zone them completely, and that you wouldn't feel the same way, even though in their heart they know that you feel the same way about them. They can tell that there's mutual feelings here, but there's like this aftermath, this second thought that seems to be ruling their mind, where their first intuition is you like them too. Their second thought is, but you probably like them more as a friend, and then that thought just wins over their first intuition. Like it just overrules everything. And I think that is why this person hasn't like made a move yet. It's because this person is afraid that you don't feel the same way. Even though they can tell you think they are cute, but I think this person feels like, what is cute? Like, is that like cute in a friendly way, or cute in a aw, poor you way, or is it like cute in an attractive way? Like they can't really tell. Like cute can mean so many different things in this person's vocabulary. Like it's like a whole, like the word just has like a whole long list of meanings, and they just expect it to be like one of the last ones instead of like one of the first ones. Like of course, cute just means that you like them, but in their mind, like they overthink everything, and yeah. But yeah, this person likes you, and this person can tell that you seem to like their personality and that you find them to be cute. But yeah, they're not certain that there is a physical attraction from you to like that they are very physically attracted to you, because they see you as like a 10 out of 10. Like you're way out of their league. They don't understand why you would like them. It's such an enigma to them. So they don't want to believe in their own intuition. Because it doesn't really make sense to them. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Icelandic Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? How does group number 3's crush think group number 3 are perceiving them? What does group number 3's crush think group number 3's perception of them is like? Okay, so I'm sensing that this person, like I don't know what the story here is, because I'm kind of sensing that this person feels like you perceive them as horny and maybe a bit out of line. Like I don't know. I don't know if this person said something, or if this person made a move on you in the past, or something like that. But I think this person just thinks you perceive them as a bit of a sleazeball, like somebody who's a bit too quick to kind of make a move, and like that this person, yeah, this person somehow felt like they were being a bit too much. Maybe when they first met you, they might have kind of gotten a bit overboard, like gone a bit overboard with you, like that. I don't know if you two were drunk the first time you two met, and maybe this person was very drunk, and they might have said something like that they want to marry you, or like that something, and I think this person knows that you know that it was just drunken talk, but I think a part of this person feels like maybe they blew it back then, like that it was that it was a bit too much, and they see that in retrospect that they probably crossed the line. So I don't know. But I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how this person thinks you perceive them. Okay, with the Pope here reversed, that's the Hierophant reversed. I think this person might think you perceive them as a bit wacky, a bit like a bit strange. A bit like the unconventional type, that I think this person thinks you perceive them as like a bit controversial, and maybe somebody who's a bit bold and just says whatever is on their mind, even though it might not always fall into the right audience. Like that maybe this person sometimes doesn't really think about the audience, that they just blurt something out and then apologize later. And I think this person thinks that is how you perceive them, as too direct, too honest, too blunt, a bit provocative. Like a bit of a rebel. I don't even know. I don't even think that's how you see this person, but I think that's how this person thinks most people perceive them. And maybe people actually don't see them this way, but I think, yeah, I think this person thinks you perceive them as unconventional, alternative, that you see them as alternative. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about this, about how this person thinks you perceive them. Okay, so with the Queen of Wands reversed, this says, like the card here, it says lover of nature, for instance, and it also says spiritual advisor, friendly, sympathetic, generous, and loving. But this came out reversed, so it's the opposite of that. So maybe this person felt like you saw this person as, or that you see this person as maybe not a lover of nature, that maybe you had a conversation with this person about nature and the environment, and maybe this person felt like you might have had a very different point of view or opinion when it came to the nature and the environment. And that maybe they thought you thought of them as unsympathetic towards animals or something like that. Maybe because this person has a tendency to just play the devil's advocate, and so sometimes they might say something outrageous just to get a reaction from people. And this person might have said something to you like that this person believes that the climate change is just made up, or that that there's no point in like in Greenpeace and animal organizations helping animals, or like something like that, that this person might have said something about those organizations just being a big scam or something like that, which is probably true though, but like in some degree. But I think this person might have said something about like something a bit controversial about maybe about eating animals, like that this person might have the opinion that it's that it's okay to and of course like that it is okay to eat animals, but like to some degree, like I think it's like I can't say like that it's not okay, because that would be like then I would be a hypocrite. But I think this person might have said something a bit more unsympathetic about it, like that that like this person might be the type of person who just likes to say something just to provoke people, and but yeah, I think it might have come across as like, or maybe it didn't come across as unsympathetic to you, but maybe you just disagreed with them. But maybe in their mind, since you were disagreeing with them, they thought you thought of them as a complete tool, if that makes sense. But maybe you just felt like maybe you were just disagreeing in a respectful way. So maybe that was a misconception from their part. With the King of Cups here reversed, it says learned person, businessman, priest or healer, patron of the arts and sciences. So it kind of makes me think that, like, because it came out reversed, I think this person might feel a bit like you see them as a bit more unlearned, that maybe you look a bit down on them sometimes for not having a sophisticated opinion. Like if this person has said something that sounded a bit unsophisticated or uncivilized, you might have said something about like, or maybe you said it in a joking way, where, or not a very serious way, but maybe you were just kind of caught up in the moment, like because you were maybe arguing with this person, and you might have just blurted out that you thought their opinion was slightly uncivilized. And I think this person thought maybe you were looking down on them for not being like smart enough, or that, and I think this provoked them a little bit to think that that you kind of judge them. And kind of made it about them. Like, I think this person just didn't really expect that, because I think in their mind, like, their opinion is not a reflection of who they are. Like, it's just, and that's also why they like to just play the devil's advocate. Like, they like to just take some unpopular opinion and just argue it, like as a lawyer, just arguing a cause that might not be dear to them. Like, it might not be their opinion, but they just like to see if they can actually make a good case, and whether they can actually make other people get on board with something that that is considered very controversial. And I think it's just a sport to them. It's just something they do for entertainment, for fun. And I think maybe they felt like you were judging that you were judging them personally for whatever they were saying, which seems to be something they didn't expect, because in their mind, their opinions and their person are separated. Like, it's not. And I think that's also why they don't get emotional about, like, if they argue something, they never get emotional about it, because it's never really their opinion. Like, it's not really dear to them, whatever they are arguing. It's just for the sake of the argument, for the sake of arguing. Like, they just like the sport of a good debate, and a good debate needs to have two sides. Unless, like, they need, like, I think whenever there is a debate and or whenever somebody's talking about something, they always feel like they need to take the counterpoint, like because then it's a proper debate. If there's not two sides, then it's not fun. And so I think this person just takes whatever opinion has not been chosen yet, and just, it doesn't matter if they actually believe it or not. It's just for the sake of the debate. And I think this person felt like you were judging them for saying something that wasn't really their opinion, and I think they kind of regretted even getting into that argument, getting into that debate, because I think they realized that it didn't paint a very good picture of them, and that was never that was never their intention, to try to come across as, like, I think this person likes to provoke, they like to be rebellious, but I think they never really consider the fact that sometimes it can backfire and somebody can start actually judging them for what they're saying. I think that's something they don't really think about. So, and I think this person just felt like maybe it backfired a little bit, and that maybe you don't really see them as the smart person that they consider themselves to be. I think this person is quite confident in themselves and their own abilities, but I think they just feel like they didn't really represent themselves in the proper way, and that now they just feel like you see them as a dipshit, and they don't like that. But I don't think that's true, though. Like, it seems like you have a crush on this person, so it doesn't seem like whatever this argument was about, like, I don't think it had such a great effect on you that you actually looked down on them. I think you understood that it was all just for entertainment purposes, that it wasn't actually meant to be taken seriously. And I think you were kind of on board with the whole concept of that debate, and that it was just for fun and for passing the time and for breaking the ice. It wasn't, so I think you understood the whole reasoning why he was saying the things that, or why they were saying the things that they were saying. So I think, but I think this person is just afraid that you don't really take them seriously anymore, or that you don't really count them for anything, that you don't I don't know. I think this person wants to be perceived as smart, and I think now they just feel like maybe you don't see them as smart anymore. But I don't think that's the case. I think you see them as smart and very capable and very talented, and so I think it's just all in their head. So. But I think this person feels a bit like maybe they, like, maybe, yeah, first of all, I think this person might feel like they crossed the line right in the beginning when you two met each other, or like, because I think this person might have made it quite clear that they were attracted to you, or that they were horny or something like that, and maybe they just felt like that wasn't, But then I think they just feel like after that they also have been like chronically just fucking things up, like, and I think this person feels like whenever they are around you, it's like they say stupid things, like, and I think it's because this person is nervous around you, like, and I think that's why it's like their brain just stops working, and yeah, I think this person regrets every time they've talked to you. Like, they regret what they said, and they think about it in retrospect, and like think about all the things that they could have said instead of the things that they actually said, and yeah, I just think they feel like they are constantly misrepresenting themselves, like, and they don't really know how to fix that, because they keep doing it. Like, every time they tell themselves that they want to actually give a good impression to you, then they end up saying something stupid, and yeah. And I think this person thinks that you perceive them as very, very impulsive. That you perceive them as, yeah, like maybe a bit ADHD, or like that they just say things without thinking. But I think this person feels like that's the only way, like that they are only this way around you. Like, I think this person feels like whenever they are around other people, they can manage to actually be kind of proper, and say the proper things that aren't going to get them in trouble. And I think whenever they are around you, they just end up like mentioning all the buzzwords that are going to trigger you, and like all the things that would, like, I think this person just feels like they like, in a way, I think this person feels like it's a bit of a minefield to talk to you, mostly also because maybe they feel like you tend to be quick to criticize some of the things they say, and point out how it's not a great opinion to have, or like that, like if this person talks about climate change, or like it might fly under the radar when this person talks to their friends, like, because maybe their friends kind of believe sort of the same thing, that it's just made up or something, and so they don't expect that to happen when they talk to you. Like, then they expect you to also just say, yeah, that's probably true. Like, I think this I think that they just are caught off guard a little bit, because it's not the usual, you're not their usual audience, and they just have all these catchphrases and these things that used to work, that usually works with their usual crowd. But I think I think they just haven't really adapted that to you. Like they have, and I think they are starting to realize that they need to adapt the way that they talk around you. But I also think this person just feels like they say things that they wouldn't usually have said, that when they are around you, it's like a nervous tick, that they just end up blurting something out that wasn't in their intention at all, and then they spend a lot of time trying to fix it, like fix what they said, and come up with some kind of explanation to why they said it, but they can't really explain it because it was just like a brain fart. And but I think it's because they get nervous around you, and I think that's a good sign. I think this person likes you, but I think this person just feels like they can't really live up to your expectations, that they feel like they are kind of disappointing you on a political level, that they feel like you're maybe somebody who's very interested in politics, and that it might be a big part of your life, and maybe they feel like all their political opinions are probably are very far away from yours, and they might, and since they feel like that, since they for whatever reason feel like you find their opinions a bit uncivilized, I think they just feel like they are afraid of sharing their opinion with you, because they know that you are probably going to disagree. And I don't know, I think they like you. I think they want to impress you. They want to make you believe that they are smart. And they want to try to prove to you that they are actually smart, and that they can actually say something that is thought through and researched, and like they. I think it nags, like it's a nagging feeling for them. Like they feel like it's. I think they just really want to prove you wrong. I think they can tell that you see them as this impulsive person who never thinks anything through and is not very smart, and they just want to prove to you that they are actually smarter than you think. But whether this person, like, of course there was that thing in the beginning where I think this person was out of line, where this person might have said that they were horny or that they wanted to marry you or whatever. But I feel like at this moment, I think this person might feel like that feeling has diminished a little bit, because they feel like it's so hard to please you, like that they feel like they're always doing it wrong, and that they might not get the validation that they are seeking. Like they want to be worshipped a little bit more, like and they want to be like the idol of somebody. Like they want someone to look up to them, and I think that's not the feeling that they are getting from you. And I hate to say that, but I think this person even felt a little bit rejected in the beginning, maybe because you said that this person was a bit out of line and that it was a bit too quick to say something like that. I think this person felt a bit rejected, and I think that is also something that is causing this person to feel like it's not worth the trouble, because they feel like it's very uphill to kind of get you to be interested in them, get you to like them, get you to find, like, I think this person feels like you don't really like them. So I think this person doesn't think you have a crush on them because they felt rejected in the past, and I think they feel like you probably still feel that way. And so I think if they knew that you had a crush on them, it would probably surprise them. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful in some way, and have a great day. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below. And if you want if you want to subscribe to my channel, then please do so. So yeah, have a great day and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose the Wild Unknown tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4? How does group number 4's crush think group number 4 perceives them? Okay, I'm sensing that your crush actually thinks you perceive them as a bit of a douchebag, or as a very unserious person, like somebody who doesn't take anything seriously, that you might have gotten an impression of him as him or her. I don't know the gender of this person, but that this person just thinks you just see them as someone who is slacking through life, and like both in their love life and in their maybe professional life, in their school or workplace, that maybe this person has come across as a little bit of a slacker, and maybe you also called this person out on it or something like that. So maybe that is why this person kind of feels like maybe you see them this way, like maybe this person bragged about this person might have bragged about passing an exam without actually making any effort into passing the exam. Like this person might have said like, oh, that they didn't actually study at all, and they didn't read any of the curriculum, and they just passed anyways. And maybe they thought this would impress you, but then it might have backfired a little bit, where maybe you just said like, well, why didn't you? Like that's what you're supposed to do, though. Like that seems like something that just happened out of luck and not out of ability. And so maybe this person kind of might have gotten the feeling that you don't see them as very serious, and that it might also have to do with this person's love life, that maybe you have kind of called this person out on certain things that he or she does, or has done in the past. Like maybe this person used to be a little bit of a player in the past, and maybe this person said something to you that kind of made you feel like, okay, well, that doesn't really impress you, like, and that's again like this person might brag about things that are a little bit weird. Like it's all things like that aren't really that impressive, and kind of just concerning, really. But of course, this is your crush, so you must like this person anyways. So so that this person must have done something right and bragged about something that actually seemed impressive to you. But I feel like whenever this person tries to impress you or brag about something, it never really seems to be that overwhelming. Like, it's kind of underwhelming. It's mostly just like, oh, yeah, passing exams without reading anything, and maybe doing minimum effort at work without getting caught, or like when it comes to love life or romantic life, this person might have said something like that they've had that they've had a lot of relationships in the past, which might have been like I don't know if this person tried to brag about that, but when they said it, they might not have thought that it didn't actually paint them in a very good light, that it actually was like they were just kind of getting themselves caught, like certain things don't need to be said, and I think this person doesn't really realize what things what things paint a bad picture of them and what things don't. And I think that is why this, and I feel like this is actually a good thing about this person, is that I think this person is so honest that this person just tells people things about them, and it reveals things like if a normal person got an A on a test like that, then that person wouldn't say something like, oh, that was just a coincidence, that it was not because they had been reading or studying very hard, that it was just that they just tried out different different combinations of X's, and they just tried it out, and then they got a high score anyways. And and so it is a good sign of honesty. This person doesn't even try to hide it. They just blurt it out. And so I kind of get why you would find this person charming, even though they are very bad at bragging about the right things. But yeah, I'm going to shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how this person thinks you perceive them, how your crush thinks you perceive them. How does your crush think you perceive them? Group number 4. Okay, so with the Ace of Pentacles, I think the Aces is about beginnings, and the Aces are kind of short term. The Pentacles is about stability and security, and I think maybe your crush feels like you perceive them as someone who's kind of just beginning to become secure and stable, and that maybe, if you have known this person for a while, which I don't know if you have, but then maybe this person feels like maybe in the past you didn't really believe in them, that, and they might have kind of picked up on that maybe you didn't really think they were, maybe when it comes to this, if they are, if this person is taking an education right now, maybe you started with them, maybe if you're a classmate of theirs, or if you go to the same school or something like that, then maybe in the beginning this person might have gotten this feeling that you didn't think they were gonna get through the exams and just the education in general, that maybe you thought they were too unserious, not really paying attention, not really doing the things that they were supposed to do, and so maybe you didn't really have the great prospects for this person that you thought this person actually would, like, maybe, yeah. And I think this person felt that you didn't quite believe them in the beginning, that they could do it, and maybe you didn't, because maybe this person showed absolutely no promise at all. Like, maybe there was really not much, not much to prove otherwise. So maybe it makes sense. So, but I think this person feels like now, the way you perceive them now is that I think this person it feels like they are starting to prove to you that they can actually do this, that it isn't such a long shot for them to actually finish what they started. So, and I think they actually kind of have changed their opinion of you lately. Of course, this is about how they perceive your opinion, or how they think you perceive them. But I think their perception of you has also changed. I think they think of you as a little bit more open-minded now. That you started out as a little bit harsh, and a little bit like a little bit pessimistic, and maybe now they feel like you've loosened up a little bit, and that you're not as hard on this person as you used to be. Maybe because you've started having a crush on this person, so maybe that is why it has changed. But I think in their opinion, since I don't really think this person thinks you have a crush on them, I think that is something this person is oblivious about. But I think this person can sense that something has changed, and they just think they have proved themselves to you, and that now you can actually see what they knew all along, that they can actually do this. And so yeah, but I don't know. But with the Father of Pentacles reversed, this is somebody, like this is of course like the Father is the mature aspect of the Pentacles, like, and I think it kind of makes sense that this comes out reversed, because I think this person knows that, like, maybe they have proved something to you. That they can actually do what they're trying to do right now when it comes to their education and their career, like that they have shown you a little bit of that promise that they believe they have. I think this person is quite confident in themselves, even though they constantly get themselves in trouble by not really doing what they're supposed to do. But I think but with the Father of Pentacles reversed, I think this person thinks you perceive them as still not completely stable and secure, like that there's still a long way to go in becoming like completely on track, like, or like completely serious. Like, I think this person feels like you don't see them as serious, and I think they get it. They get it why you wouldn't think that, because I think this person knows that they aren't really that serious either. But with the maturity of this card when it's upright and this card being reversed, I also think this person might think that you perceive them as a little bit immature. And again, I think they get it. I think they understand where you're coming from. So I don't think it's like, I don't feel like it's actually like like I don't think they see it as unjustified. I think they understand where they understand your opinion. They get it. With the Three of Pentacles reversed, when it's upright, it's about kind of it's about working together in a team. It's about education. It's about also being a bit put up on a pedestal, or putting somebody up on a pedestal. But it is reversed, and so I think this person thinks you perceive them as somebody who I don't think this person thinks you put them on a pedestal. Like, that is like one thing. I don't think this person believes that you idolize them or anything like that. I think they kind of know that you're not that impressed with them. And also, this is about teamwork, and it's reversed, and so maybe there's also like a teamwork aspect where maybe this person thinks you perceive them as somebody who isn't good at playing nice with others, like that you might have criticized them, or maybe you just told them that maybe it would be a good idea for them to be in a study group. Like, if this person is in an education like right now, and you're also in that same education, or maybe you just know about this person's education and how it's going, and like maybe you came with a suggestion that maybe a study group would be perfect for this person, because this person might need somebody to kind of keep them like helping them keeping their end of the bargain, or their end of the deal. Like it like that wasn't what I was trying to say, but like I just lost the word for it. But like that maybe you've said to them that a study group would be helpful when it seems like this person has a tendency to slack off a little bit and not really take things seriously, and not really get everything done, and not really getting things done before the deadline, and not reading everything before the lessons, or like and maybe you just suggested that if they had a study group, then they would have to read, because if they didn't read, then his or her study buddies would get mad at him or her, and I think this person kind of took that badly, or not badly, but they might have felt a little bit like you were after them, like that you were kind of being hard on them. And I think it's mostly because this person doesn't want to be in a study group, because they know that if they were in a study group, then they would have all these obligations that they don't want to have, and that's why they are avoiding being put into a study group, or finding a study group or whatever. But like, so just think this person felt like that was. They knew it was a suggestion, but they felt like maybe you're. Like, I just think this person took it a little bit personally, felt like you were a little bit mean or something like that. But in a way where, like, I don't know. But I think you meant it in a very sincere way. So, but I think this person just doesn't like that sort of criticism, or that sort of unsolicited advice. But yeah, Father of Swords reversed. It's about the mature aspect of the Swords suit, which is about like communication and sharing of knowledge. But communication is kind of key here. I feel like since I think this person might feel a little bit like you perceive them as someone who's bad at communicating. Maybe you have said something about maybe that they need to be better at texting people back, or that they can't just leave people hanging and leave people unread, that's not polite or something like that. And this person might just be the type who just does that, but and doesn't really think about what an effect that has on other people. And I don't think it's because this person is mean-spirited. I think this person just is neglectful when it comes to certain things in their life, like they are neglectful when it comes to their homework and their studying. Then they are also neglectful of their friendships and relationships. And but I think if you criticize that or just gave this person a friendly reminder that maybe it would be a good idea to text people back just for the sake of keeping some of this person's friendships. Like, it might not even have had anything to do with you, but maybe this person was talking to you about someone who got mad at them for not texting back, and that they couldn't really understand why that was such a big issue. And you might have just said to them that you kind of understand why someone would get upset, because it is a little bit upsetting. But I think this person just doesn't really get it. But I'm not saying that, I know I'm painting this person in a little bit of a negative light here, and I'm not meaning to. It's not my intention to do that. But I don't. Again, I want to emphasize that this person is not mean-spirited. They just have a hard time kind of I think this person is also a product of their environment. I think they just do the things that their other buddies do, so they think it's okay because they had a friend who did the same thing and they didn't get in trouble, so why would they get in trouble for doing the same thing? But I think I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information on how this person thinks you perceive them. As a prostitute, that kind of goes hand in hand with the player thing I said in the beginning. I don't know if I said it or just thought it, but I was kind of picking up on some that this person thought you thought of them as a little bit of a player, and God, sorry, there was a fly that just flew right into my eye, but sorry. And I think this person might think you perceive them as a little bit loose and unserious when it comes to love, and and I think this person feels like maybe this I don't think this person is happy with that. I think this person feels like that's a little bit of a misconception that I think this person feels like many people have of them, that they just that somehow they have this reputation of being kind of someone who just plays the field and isn't actually looking for anything serious, and and someone who's not ready to settle down. And like, I think this person feels a little bit like it's a bit of a stigma, that they wish people wouldn't just assume, just because this person might get caught flirting with people. But I think in their mind they just think of that as someone who's like trying their luck with in certain circumstances without ever I think this person feels like they don't get laid enough to actually have this stigma that is kind of ridiculous, because they never get lucky. So it's like, or they rarely get lucky. So but yeah, I think they feel like that's how you perceive them, as a little bit of a player, maybe not directly a prostitute, but kind of something in that that category. And so yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and sorry, it's the fly again. But yeah, I hope this reading was helpful. I'm gonna end the reading here. If this reading was helpful, then please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose the Alcohol Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 5, the people who will choose group number 5? How does group number 5's crush think group number 5 perceives them? Okay. Okay, I think this person feels like they are. I think this person feels a little bit confused as to how you perceive them, because sometimes it seems like you like them very much and that you're always on their side, kind of like that you compliment them, praise them, and seem to also find them very funny, and that you laugh at their jokes. And then other times this person feels like you perceive them as the scum of the earth, like like that. Sometimes they feel like they could do the exactly same thing as they did the days where you found them funny, but then like on other days it's not funny, but it's maybe because they keep repeating the same joke the next day, and then of course it's not going to be funny. But I don't think it's that, because of course this is a crush of yours, and so I don't like, maybe this person kind of repeats some jokes, and it might be whenever this person feels like they've found like a joke that was really, really funny the first time and got people to really belly laugh, and they just felt like that joke was so good, and so they feel like they must repeat it a few times to other people. But then maybe you just happen to be there at the same time where they are repeating it, even though they are repeating it to another crew of people, but or another crowd of people. But I don't know. But I think also there's just something about this person feeling like you run a little bit hot and cold. Like some days you like them, some days you don't, and they don't know what they do differently, and they can't really navigate through this. And they also feel like I think that this is kind of specific, but it came through in the channeling, is that I think sometimes you might compliment this person on being independent, and doing things on their own and not needing help from anyone. But then other days you might take the same characteristic and talk about it in a more negative light. Like maybe if this person asks, like if you're like maybe some days this person might have a problem and you might offer to help them with that problem, and then they might tell you that they don't need they don't need your help with that, that they can take care of it on their own because they've taken care of everything on their own since they were a child or something, and so why would they need help with anything now? And they might have said something like that to you, and maybe you felt like it was a little bit arrogant, or that it's a little bit arrogant sometimes when this person just bluntly refuses to allow someone to help them, even if they are being very nice about it. And then, of course, sometimes if they tell a story about how they've had to take care of their younger sibling since they were a child, that is a story that needs recognition, like where you, of course, would talk about that in a more positive way. But I think this person feels like in their mind it's mixed. It's the same thing, like that some days you praise them for being independent, and other days you criticize them for being too independent, and they don't know, like they don't understand what the difference is, why you would think of it negatively one day and then positively the other. And but that's very specific. I don't know if it's going to resonate with all of you. But yeah, I'm going to shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how this person thinks you perceive them. Okay, with a 9 of Spears, which is 9 of Wands. So I think your crush thinks you perceive them as someone who's very who's a little bit wounded, like that they think you perceive them as a wounded bird, like as maybe a little bit of a charity case, but not in a way where it's like not in the usual way of understanding the word charity case. It's more like somebody who's like I used the wrong word here, because it's not charity case. It's more like that this person thinks you perceive them as someone who's had it very rough, and who's had a rough childhood, and that you seem to take pity on them, which you should. Of course you're going to take pity on them when they tell you things that are horrible to hear, like horrible stories to listen to, like things about their mother or father that and their neglect of them, and like of course, I don't know if it resonates with all of you, but I feel like for many of you, this person might have experienced neglect in their childhood, and I think that is why they are a little bit too independent now, because they've had to take care of things on their own. But this is also maybe why they feel a little bit like it's hard to I think I think they might have like a little bit of a black and white kind of thinking, like where I think that they, like, whenever you criticize them or maybe, like, I don't think you criticize this person at all. I think that you might say to this person that maybe they are being too independent, or maybe they should take the help that is offered to them, or like maybe it wouldn't be so bad to kind of ask someone for advice sometimes, like that maybe you've said to this person that you felt like they were not really listening to your advice, like that, and maybe you felt like it was a little bit arrogant that they didn't want your opinion about something, as if your opinion didn't matter to them. But in their mind, like in your mind, this criticism might have just been like a small comment that wasn't really meant to be taken that seriously. Like maybe you just kind of made a joke about it, but in this person's mind, it triggers a point where this person feels like you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave now. Like now, this is gonna be the drop that's gonna make the cup flow over, and I think this person is very triggered whenever someone says something critical, because it makes them uncertain whether you like them or not. And I think this I think this person is very sensitive to that, to feeling like they don't know if they have bought the horse or it hasn't, or like, you know, I don't know. So I think that this person might also think you perceive them as a little bit defensive sometimes. And maybe you've made a joke about that, and maybe this person took that joke a little bit personally, that they felt like they didn't want you to perceive them as like someone who's just defensive all the time, but I think this person is defensive. Like this person is probably someone who can't really own responsibility for something, or like, I'm not saying that I'm going to explain it, because it's not about, like, it's not something evil or mean or like, I think the reason why this person, like, if you call this person out on something, like if you tell this person that something they said was insensitive or kind of hurtful, this person will try everything to try to convince you that it was a misunderstanding, even though they might probably have meant exactly what they meant at that time, and so they said exactly what they meant. I mean, but when they get caught, like they get so desperate that they try to find every type of way to get out of this wrongdoing, because they can't have that, like, it's very hard for them to know that somebody's mad at them. So they, like, their way of reacting is to defend. Like they defend what they, like, they try to find a way to defend what they said, and they get all defensive about it and say, like, oh, that was not what they meant, that was like, it's a whole misunderstanding, it's not like that, was like they and it's just because they don't want you to be mad at them, and they don't want you to think they said something that you got that you found offensive, or that got you hurt, or made you sad or something. Like it's not because they don't want to take accountability. Like it's not. It's because they know that taking accountability could be kind of fatal for the relationship. You know, like not fatal but fatal for like that the relationship or the friendship could die if they took accountability, because then they would have to say that, okay, yes, I meant this and I said this because it was what was on my mind at that time, and yes, I was kind of thinking in a bad way, that and it was exactly what you thought it was, but please forgive me, like, but that wouldn't, they know that wouldn't fly. So it's just about just trying to convince the other person that it wasn't as it seemed, if that makes sense. I think this person would take accountability if it was something something different. I don't think this person is a type of person who just tries to run away from all blame. Like, it's not like that. And the reason why it's also not like that is because this person does not play the victim. So whenever this person like this person doesn't, like, in a way it's actually a positive thing, or I don't know if it's necessarily positive, but it's maybe like relatively positive that this person tries to change what they said, or like call it a misunderstanding, or say that they just used the wrong word, or like that it was a brain fart, or like that they try to erase it, and like instead of like, because some people have a reflex where they just blame the other person, like where they just, like, when someone blames them, they just blame the other right back, and that is not this person. This person wouldn't go into that game at all. Like, they wouldn't go into the blame game. They wouldn't try to pin it on you. They would just try as much as they could to just erase what happened, and instead of trying to say like, oh, you said something bad too, or what about something you said like last month, like that was terrible too, and so that justifies me saying something mean now. Like, that is not this person's MO at all. So that it's a positive thing, but it's still like, of course it would be nice if this person could just say like, yeah, that I meant what I said what I meant, and I meant what I said, and this is but in a way, like, this person is also just desperate to have a connection with you. They don't want to have you on their bad side. They don't want to lose you out of their life. So that's a positive thing. I think this person also cares a lot about how you perceive them, and that's also why they try to figure out why you sometimes don't like them, or why it seems that way sometimes. And they try to navigate through it and try to see what is it that triggers you, and in their mind they just don't really get it, but I think it is something they try to see a pattern in. Like, they try to figure it out, because they want you to perceive them as a good person, as friendship or even relationship material. I'm not gonna I don't think this person actually believes you have a crush on them, even though sometimes they feel like you, like, I think sometimes they feel like you are a little bit intimate, or like that you sometimes can come across as a little bit a little bit more than friendly. Like maybe you have shared some things with them, and like some personal things, and maybe you have asked this person about their personal life and their childhood and their past, and maybe they feel like this is maybe a little bit more than a friendship, but they don't really know, since sometimes you get mad at them for being a little bit arrogant, or like for not wanting help, or for kind of being too blunt about like certain things. And maybe also maybe you find this person a little bit annoying when they do things that like, I feel like you have a cross on this person, but you also know that this person has certain things that they do that are a little bit annoying. And so whenever they do that, it's like maybe you kind of ignore it a little bit because you don't want, because you know this person can be a little bit cringy in like sometimes, and it might be because this person repeats a joke one too many times, or keeps repeating the same phrase, like using the same word, like, or maybe abusing the same word like over and over again. And maybe you feel like maybe this person could give that word a rest, like stop using that word so much, like in every sentence, like it's not needed. And maybe you feel like maybe this person also repeats jokes that other people have just said, or something like that, and then like, these might be the things that you kind of pick up on, but you don't want to see them because of course love is blind, and sometimes it makes us a little bit blind towards the things that we would probably consider insufferable if anybody else did it. But we kind of let that person get away with it because it's our crush, and so we want to see the positive side of that person, and we want to kind of put emphasis on the good parts. But I think this person kind of picks up on maybe that you get a little bit embarrassed whenever they do something that's a little bit they might look at you and then you roll your eyes and they're like, oh, now they did it again, like, and I think whenever you roll your eyes at them, I think they get nervous. They get nervous that now you are now you don't like them as much as you used to, or like now they are getting on your nerves, and they don't know how to stop getting on your nerves because they don't really know how to change their behavior in order to fit whatever is. Like, I think it's just they don't really know how to, like, they don't know what makes you like cringe, and I think they want to be considered cool. With a Page of Wands here, I think this person wants to be the cool person. Like they want to be seen as someone that people kind of that's someone people like to hang out with. Like they want to be the cool person, the funny person. Like they want to be liked, and there might also be like a small wish within this person that, like, maybe a childhood wish where they always kind of wanted to be the popular one, like the one that everybody gets happy when they see them, like, and like, you know, and I think they kind of still feel like they want to be that person. And I think they feel like whenever you're happy to see them, they get really happy. Like it makes them feel a little bit popular, But then when you sometimes feel like, ugh, this motherfucker, like, you know, and it could be because like they might have said something, they might have like left you unread or something, like you might have texted them and they didn't text you back, and then like when you meet them in person, you're like, why, and I think this person just doesn't get it. Like, of course you're gonna be like annoyed with that, and you're not gonna just act like everything is good, because that's annoying behavior. Like, so I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more, just to get a little bit more information on how this person thinks you perceive them, how your crush thinks you perceive them. Okay, with the Two of Lakers, which is Two of Pentacles, I think this, I think your crush thinks you perceive, your perception of them is like a little like somebody who's juggling, like juggling the two pentacles, like on the Rider-Waite card, like there's a juggler, and like going from one, kind of like from one extreme to the other, like from one pole to the other pole, and like maybe they feel like, yeah, sometimes you love them, sometimes you hate them, and they don't know if it's because they just have, like, I think this person might feel a little bit like it could be because they are bipolar. I don't, and that would be a good explanation to why that is. So maybe they feel like maybe it could be their fault, but or like I don't think this person would go to the extreme of thinking that it's you who's bipolar, but for some of you, I think maybe the thought has kind of has occurred to them, like that they might have thought like maybe it could be because, yeah, sometimes you run hot and cold, and maybe it is because sometimes you, like that maybe you could have some of that bipolarity too, like I don't know. I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information on how this person thinks you perceive them, how your crush thinks you perceive them. Okay, so with the prostitute reversed, well, I think this person might think you perceive them as a little bit of a virgin, that or inexperienced. That you might be someone who, like, that you might perceive that this person thinks you perceive them as like a little bit of a loner, like someone who's just going it alone, someone who's maybe a little bit isolated. So maybe you do kind of wonder if this person has ever been in a real relationship, or whether this person has been single for their whole life, or like, I don't know. I don't think you perceive this person as a virgin though, but I think this person might fear that you might think that, even though I don't think this person is a virgin, but I don't think this person has had a serious relationship before, or even a committed relationship. Like, I think this person has maybe dated someone in the past, but it didn't work out. And so, yeah, like maybe this person is a little bit inexperienced, and I think this person feels like you perceive them as such, like that you perceive them as someone who is like, and maybe that you also perceive them as a little bit asexual. Maybe because this person has said that, I don't know. But if this person said that, maybe they kind of regret saying it to you, because maybe they feel like they lost all chances with you because they told you that they were asexual, or that they thought they were. But I know that's specific for some of you, so if that doesn't resonate with you, then it's just not for you. But yeah, I think this person feels like maybe you perceive them as like a little bit like sexually unexperienced, like unexperienced when it comes to romantic relations. And with a blank card, your crush might perceive you as, or your crush might think you perceive them as a little bit of a mystery, like that they feel like maybe you, or maybe you have said that to them, so maybe that is why they think you perceive them as a mystery, because maybe you said that that you can't really figure them out, and maybe they also just don't really think you perceive them in like they might fear a little bit that you don't really think about them that much, like outside of whenever, like I think this person might think you just think of them when you two are together, that it's a little bit more forced, like a forced kind of connection where you might talk to each other when you're outside, like smoking, like in the breaks, or like some, like, I don't know if you two work together or if you study together or something, but maybe you two go out smoking in the break, and I think this person might feel a little bit like maybe you're just trapped with them, and maybe you're just keeping a conversation going with them because it would be awkward not to. And maybe this person just feels a little bit like they don't really know if you want to talk to them, like that's, or if you just feel obligated to talk to them sometimes. So, but then sometimes you laugh at their jokes, and they feel very much like they did something right, and that it seems like you like them. But yeah, they have their worries that maybe you wouldn't want to talk to them out of your own free will, like that maybe you wouldn't be the first one to want to like ask them out on a date, or like that it may or like I don't think this person would think you would do that, because they think they just don't really know yet how you categorize this connection, how you would define this connection. And so until then, this person feels a little bit like they are in a limbo state where it's hard to tell. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this Miss Cleo's tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 6, the people who will choose group number 6? How does group number 6's crush think group number 6 perceives them? Okay, so I'm sensing that your crush knows that you like them, that they know that your perception of them is positive. I think they might even feel like it's a little bit too positive, where they might feel like you put them up on a pedestal a little bit, and maybe that you have a little bit too high expectations of them. Like, I think this person knows that you perceive them as very intelligent and very bright, and I think this person feels like you're basing that on some information that they gave you. Like, they might have told you that they have a degree in something, like in engineering or computer science or something like that. And when this person told you that, you might have been very impressed. Like, you might have reacted with like very much praise, like that you praised them on their achievement, and maybe you said something like that must have taken a lot of taken a lot of talent and intellect to get through an education like that. And maybe you even said to this person that you couldn't imagine yourself taking a degree in something like that, or maybe I don't know if that's maybe specific for some of you, I don't know, but I feel like you might have said something that kind of made it out as if this person had done something incredible, where this person kind of felt like, if you just knew some of the idiots that this person graduated with, like the people that this person shares this degree with, like people who have the same similar degree as them, like if you just knew some of these people, you wouldn't, like, I think this person is just saying, like, what I'm kind of getting from this person is that this person feels like not every person who has a degree in engineering or computer science is a brainiac. Like, some of them are just kind of mediocre, and I think this person even feels a little bit like they are a little bit mediocre. Like, and they might be a little bit okay with it, but whenever someone is like really overly excited about their degree, they get a little bit like they get a feeling of awkwardness, because they feel like now they have to live up to some crazy expectation, and like then like they start getting worried if you have any questions about like engineering or computer science, and I think this person just feels like they might not be able to answer your questions, because they just know very specific stuff, the stuff that they had to read before the exam, like the stuff that they needed to study to pass the exams. Like they don't know everything, and like it. They haven't specified their knowledge either. Like I think they feel like they have a very general, basic knowledge of whatever they got a degree in, and it's a little bit of a flex, and they know that it's something that's easy to brag about, but and it does seem like people get impressed with it, but they just don't like the pressure of it. Like they don't like the pressure that comes along with it, and I think they feel a little bit like since you think so highly of them, it makes them a little bit uncomfortable, because I think they just feel a little bit like you're gonna get disappointed eventually. So I'm gonna shuffle a little bit and see what the cards have to say about how this person thinks you perceive them. With the Six of Cups reversed, I think this person thinks you perceive them as someone who's very mature, and I think they think, because like it might be because of their achievements in life, like maybe because they have a degree, or because they have maybe kind of like maybe they have climbed the ladder a little bit at their workplace and kind of gotten into a leadership position or something like that, and maybe they kind of feel like they kind of got to the point that they are today out of pure luck. Like they were just lucky. They aren't really anything special. Like they don't feel very special, and so, I think they, like in their own mind, they just feel like they are still like basically a 15-year-old. Like they sometimes think, like just think of themselves as like not a grown-up at all. Like, and I think they feel like you see them as a grown-up, that you see them as really mature, as really serious, as someone who has their life together, like and they don't know if they can live up to that, because in their mind they feel very juvenile. They feel like they have very juvenile humor. Like they feel like a lot of the, like sometimes they, like sometimes when they are at work, like they feel like they feel a little bit like they are a child pretending to be an adult. Like when they have to make calls, like they try to kind of convince the other person at the other end of the line that they actually know what they're doing, but they don't. And I think in many ways they just feel like it's a lot of pressure just to be an adult, that it's so much pressure, and so they feel like since you kind of also perceive them as this person who has their shit together, it makes them nervous that they can't live up to that. That one day it's going to be revealed to you that they're just a child in grown-up clothes, and like and that they're just pretending to know things, and that whenever they, like if you ask them a question about something that they basically don't know, they might try to say something that sounds smart, just to kind of like just in like they might do the thing that some like that I know I've done that before, like when someone asks you about something that you are supposed to know a lot about because it's something that yeah, like if you've been at the university for 2 semesters, then you should have like basic knowledge about something, and like I know that, like, and I'm because I took 2 semesters at theology, and I still sometimes get questions about the Bible, where I'm like, where it's so awkward that I don't know, that I just start like I just respond by saying a lot of big words, and like in the hopes that it's just gonna make the person think that like that I must know what I'm talking about, since I'm using all these big words, and this is of course in Danish, the language that I speak every day, not in English, because I can't do that in English at all because I'm not good enough at that. But yeah, in Danish I can pull it off because I know a lot of big words, and so and yeah, it kind of, like I feel like sometimes I can fly under the radar by doing that because it just confuses people more, and then they don't want to look like idiots, so they just say, oh, interesting, and then like they move on to something different. So yeah, I think this person does the same thing. Like, so if you ask this person a question and they just give you an answer that you don't understand, then it's probably just because they don't know and they are just trying to confuse you so that you change the subject, and it's just a decoy. And I think this person is a bit nervous sometimes about people expecting things from them and not being able to deliver an answer or that is fulfilling to people. And I think but I think this person perceives you, or thinks that you perceive them as someone who knows everything, and they don't, or they feel like they don't. And so it's just that I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. So yeah. So how does your crush think you perceive them? With the five of coins, I think this person perceives, or this person thinks you perceive them as maybe a little bit of an outsider, maybe socially, like that. I think maybe sometimes this person walks around alone, and maybe this is intentional, or kind of intentional, in their like that they do it because they want to, or like that they don't want to spend time with people that, or like they don't want to just hang out with people just because they don't want to be perceived as a loner. Like they don't really feel like they need that safety blanket. So I think this is probably someone, like the person that you're asking about is probably someone who can go to a party alone. They don't need like a companion to go, so yeah, so I think maybe you have kind of hung out with them where maybe this person felt like you just started hanging out with them because you didn't like seeing them alone, that you wanted to take them out of their misery. And I think in their mind, like, I think they liked the gesture of it, but I think they were afraid that maybe you perceived them as like a hermit type, like that you maybe that you maybe got the wrong idea, like that it was maybe that you maybe or that it might have made you think that they were alone because nobody wanted to be their friend, or like that they didn't have any friends or something like that. Maybe you even made a joke about that at some point, that about this person hanging out with all their friends or something like that. You might have come up to them and said, I can see you're hanging out with all your friends, and it might have, like, he might have been standing there all alone. And yeah, maybe you said something like that. I know it's very specific, so maybe it's only some of you, like for some of you, or maybe one of you, I don't know. But I think this person, I think this, this person knew it was a joke. Like, this person understood the humor, but kind of felt like, well, maybe maybe sometimes a joke contains some of the truth, and that maybe they felt a little bit like you took pity on them for standing alone somewhere, like where maybe this person is just someone who's very confident in their own skin. Like they don't feel like even though they're not super confident in their own skin, because this person is always anxious that they aren't living up to people's expectations. But I think this is probably also why this person likes to just hang out on their own, like without necessarily being the center of attention, because if they are the center of attention, they will, like, then all eyes will be on them, and then they will likely disappoint somebody, like, and or that's how it would work out in their mind. Like, I think I'm gonna shuffle a little bit, like, okay, I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information about how this person thinks you perceive them. Okay, with the victim card reversed, I don't think this person, like, the shadow attributes of this card is a bit confusing in this context, but like the shadow attributes, it says playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, where I don't think this person wants anyone to take pity on them. So I don't think that's the case here. I don't think this person would want that. But the second shadow attribute that's being mentioned here is inability to maintain personal boundaries. And I think that's maybe more the right one here. Like, I think maybe this person feels like you perceive them as someone who doesn't have, like, proper boundaries, or like that that maybe you feel like they just let everyone walk all over them. Or that this person is a little bit of a people pleaser, that they just say whatever, just like that they say what they think people expect of them, and they don't want to disappoint anyone, and maybe in return they kind of end up coming across as a little bit of a people pleaser and maybe a pushover, like that people kind of can take a little bit advantage of this of his or her need to I actually feel like this might have something to do with not being able to say no. Like maybe this person doesn't know how to say no, and maybe this person keeps like staying in awkward situation just because they don't know how to just say like, this is not something I'm comfortable answering. Like this person just like before, where I kind of feel like this person would answer a question with something confusing just to let the person know that they know, or that they don't want to make well, it's not really the same thing here. Like it's not the same. But it might also be about the first thing, like the playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity. It could be that. Like maybe this person feels a little bit like you perceive them as someone who plays the victim, that maybe in some situation that you had with this person, you might have called this person out for being too for having too much victim mentality, or like being or I don't know, because I think this could also be I don't know what this is about really, because this card here, it's just confusing the shit out of me. Like I don't know, I don't feel like this is the type of person who plays the victim all the time, and I don't think this person is, and I don't think you perceive this person as someone who plays the victim all the time either. But somehow this person thinks that you think they play the victim. And so I don't know if this is just a whole misunderstanding, something that you said maybe as a joke, was something that like maybe triggered this person into believing that you just that you just thought they were playing the victim. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more just to get a little bit more information on how this person thinks you perceive them. Okay, bully. Maybe this person well, this card, it says, highlight your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. So maybe this is about that this person thinks you perceive them as someone who is intimidating. That maybe there was a conversation that you had with this person where you said that you didn't want to talk about something because because you felt a little bit like they wouldn't that they wouldn't understand, or like I don't know. There might have just been like a conversation that you said no to, or said that you didn't want to go there. And And I think this person doesn't really understand those types of boundaries, because I think this person feels like all topics are like are open for discussion. Like there's nothing that's off limits, and I think this person just felt like this, like whenever you ask this person a question, they try to answer it, and maybe sometimes they answer it in a bad way, but they try, and then they just hope that you don't look at them differently afterwards. But but I think this person felt like you actually just said no to talking about a topic, and I think this person just didn't really get it, like why you didn't want to answer, or at least try to answer, like now that, and it might have been something personal, like that maybe this person perceived you as a little bit closed off, and they felt like maybe you were closed off because you perceived them as a bully, if that makes sense. I know I said it in a little bit of a complicated way, or a little bit confusing, and I get it, but I think they are afraid that maybe you perceive them as a bully, because you have maybe distanced yourself a little bit from this person. Maybe you have kind of created some boundaries, or said that you don't want to go down certain paths with them, like you don't want to talk about this, you don't want to talk about that, and that's too personal, that's too like something, I don't know, and I think, or maybe it was just something that you didn't want to talk about because it was maybe just a little bit touchy, but I think this person just was afraid that it was because they had an intimidating effect on you, that they made you uncomfortable in some way, and I don't think this person wanted to make you uncomfortable. So if that makes sense. It took me a while to get there, but I got the message like at the end. But yeah, it's a little bit of a journey sometimes with these readings. So yeah, it explains the victim card also, with the inability to maintain personal boundaries. That this person thinks that maybe you feel like that they feel like you feel like they don't accept you, or that they don't they don't understand, that you feel like they don't understand your boundaries, that the boundaries that you've put up, and maybe that was the end of that. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle just one more card just to get a little bit more information. Okay, with the slave card reversed here, like I think the shadow attribute here, it says giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So, and it came out reversed. So I think this person thinks you perceive them as someone who's maybe a bit afraid of making their own decisions, their own choices, that you think that they might be a little bit indecisive, and that you might sometimes fear a little bit to take sides, like take that they might fear. Sorry, that you think they might, like that they think you think they have a hard time picking one side because you they feel like you perceive them as someone who just does whatever people want them to do and says whatever people want them to say, and it's a little bit confusing with the whole bully card, where this person is afraid of intimidating or intimidating you, but also realizes that you that you perceive them as a little bit or that they feel like you perceive them as a little bit submissive also, intimidating and submissive to or submissive towards a bigger authority, where maybe it's a little bit confusing here. Could be political. It could be like I don't know. I'm not going to go any further into this because this is confusing me, and if it makes sense to you, then that's all that matters. But if it don't, then take some of the highlights out of this reading, the things that actually resonated and actually made sense to you, and just leave the rest behind. Like, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 6. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye! Hello, group number 7, you chose this tarot deck here, Tarot del Fuego, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle this deck for you. And yeah, I'm going to start with the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 7, the people who will choose group number 7? How does group number 7's crush think group number 7 perceives them? Okay, so I'm sensing that there is a lot of love here, and so I think this person knows that you two have a lot of chemistry, and they know that you also think you two have a lot of chemistry. And so I feel like this person knows that you have a crush on them, and they seem to also have a crush on you, because I'm feeling like this person just feels like this connection here, like it feels like home to them. They feel good about this connection, but they also feel like, I think this person is a little bit worried about something that happened in the past. Like, this person knows that you like them, that you have interest in them, that you feel warm about them. They know that, but they feel like, because like there is a reason why this person hasn't made a move on you, and the reason why that is because I feel like this person has feelings for you, and you have feelings for them. And like I said maybe before, but I like now that I'm thinking of it, like now I'm sensing all these warm feelings, and I feel like this is a mutual feeling that both of you have, like this feeling of love. There is a very warm and fuzzy feeling here from both sides, but I think this person is worried because of something that happened in the past. I don't know if you two had a big argument in the past, but I feel like this person is afraid that you still kind of hold a grudge because of that, that you still haven't completely forgiven them because of it. And so there is that little fear, but I think this person knows that you probably already have forgiven them. Like, I think it's just a little bit of like, what if you haven't? What if you still think about it? What if you still kind of wonder if this could happen again, like, or something like that. So, and they might also feel a little bit like they are a bit afraid that it's going to happen again too, like that they are afraid that that it could go both ways with this, like that this is like a fire that burns really, really bright, but with fire, like when it comes to the fire element, it's very unpredictable. So it could be fiery and feisty and fun and like really, really sexy at times, but then it can go overboard and like start a forest fire, and then the fire can be destructive, but it can also be passionate and beautiful, and it's just about maintaining the fire so that it doesn't become destructive. And I think this person is a little bit afraid that it could potentially end up being getting a little bit destructive again. But I feel like this person actually feels like the argument that you two had in the past, in their mind, they don't feel necessarily that it was a bad thing for your connection. I think they actually feel like this argument might even have brought you two closer together, that it might have strengthened your relationship or your connection. But I feel like maybe they are a bit afraid that you perceive it as just destructive, not something that actually made it better, like made the connection better. But I feel like you actually also see it as something that actually made your connection stronger. So I think you are actually on the same page here. I think your crush just is a little bit worried that maybe you're not on the same page. But this person thinks you perceive them as a romantic interest. I think this person is very certain of that. I don't know how this person felt it, but like this person knows it, because maybe they also feel like since you two have fought, like have had an argument together, it must be obvious, or it feels obvious to them that you wouldn't bother to have a whole argument with them where maybe you even cried and they cried, and like it might have gotten really emotional towards the end of this argument. Like it might have been very, very like touchy-feely. And I think this person just feels like that is proof that you're interested in them. Because if you weren't interested, you wouldn't have bothered to argue that much. Like you would just have left it behind. Like you would just have said, okay, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'll just move on from this. Like then like I think this person felt like that was proof. And And they might also have felt like you should also have seen it as proof that they also were willing to try to find common grounds. Like, even though it like that if, like, I think they feel like it's obvious to you also that they have feelings for you, because they wouldn't have bothered to get to, like, to find common grounds with somebody, like, just for the sake of finding common grounds. Like, they knew that there was something at stake. That was why they took this very seriously. That was why they wanted to get, like, I feel like in this argument that you had with this person, now I'm assuming that you've had an argument with this person, but like, I'm just really feeling that you, like, I'm sensing this, that there was an argument. And I think it was the person that the person that you have a crush on. I think it was them who actually wanted desperately to find a solution, like to end this argument and finding common grounds. And I think to them that was a signal to you that it was very important for them to actually become friends with you again, or like make it okay again, like make everything good again. And I feel like this was maybe an argument that was happening like in the evening, and it might have like kept going up until like 3 a.m., like 3 at the middle of the night, like where you had kept trying to find like a common grounds, and trying to, like, where you both discussed this for a long time in order to find the solution and become friends again. And I think this person felt like you must have known that this person would never make that sacrifice for anyone if they weren't romantically interested in them. So to them, it just seemed very obvious. So I think this person thinks you know that they are interested, and they feel like they also know that you're interested, but that I don't know why this person hasn't made a move on you. I don't know if this person was planning to make a move on you, but was interrupted in some way, where maybe there has been some distance between you two for some time now. Maybe because one of you might have moved away right at the time where maybe this person felt like it. Like, I think this person might have postponed asking you out, maybe because this person was building up the courage to do it. But it could also have been because this person was right in the middle of something, like, and they might have felt like they weren't going to be a good partner at that time, like that it would have been disastrous to get into a relationship at that time, because they were so focused and so distracted, so focused on something else, and so distracted from anything else happening in their life. Like they couldn't really see themselves juggling two things at once. Like, they might have been writing a very, very like big assignment, or like something, like they might have been in the middle of a very, very large project that was really time consuming, and they just felt like maybe a relationship was not really in the cards for them at that moment. So maybe they had like waited a little bit and postponed it, and they were maybe gonna like bring it up with you, but the party that they might have wanted to bring it up with you at, like, I think they had something planned. Like they had planned to talk to you like at some party that they knew you were going to go to that same party, or it might have been some kind of social event or something that they just knew you would that you would participate in that. So they knew you were going to be there, and so they thought maybe it was best to do it in person. And so yeah, I think this person had maybe planned it out, but then maybe you didn't come to that social event or that party. Like maybe you had something else to do. Maybe you got caught up in something where you had to move to a different state or different city or something, and or maybe this could have been because of the COVID pandemic. I know this is a long time ago, so I don't know if this still applies today, that maybe some of you still have a crush on somebody that you were very much together with before the pandemic, and then you might not have spoken to that person since then, or maybe this person has gotten in a different situation since then, or might not be available now because they might have started dating somebody else. So I don't know, but I don't know what the specific situation here is. But of course you know, so there's no point in me guessing. But yeah, I think this person felt interrupted. Like I think they were planning on actually making a move on you, but circumstances changed, things changed. They weren't it wasn't making sense anymore at the point where they actually got the courage to actually tell you their true feelings for you. Like it just didn't make sense anymore because yeah, you couldn't physically be together, or like it might have just been awkward to have like a relationship over Zoom or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, but I'm gonna shuffle a little bit to see what the cards have to say about how your crush thinks you perceive them. The Lovers. So yeah, I think this person thinks you perceive them as a romantic interest, and they know you have feelings for them. They know that you have deep feelings. Even if you haven't talked to each other for a long time, they still know that you have feelings for them. Like I don't know if they can sense it, like that your souls have somehow communicated with each other in the 5D or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's the 5D. Like I don't really know about this spiritual stuff enough to actually talk about it. But like I just I'm just sensing that maybe this person has felt that this connection isn't completely over. Like that I think this person is also a believer of like feelings not disappearing out of the blue. Like if you had feelings for them back then you probably still have feelings for them now. Like and they feel the same way. Like they had feelings for you back then, so of course they still have feelings for you, because nothing has changed, because you haven't been in contact. And if you haven't been in contact, then of course it's just like the connection is just on pause. Like it has stagnated in the at the form that it was when you stop being in contact with each other. So so it's still there. Like the feelings can't just disappear without having a cause for disappearing. So if that, I don't know if it makes sense, but I think that's this person's logic. And so yeah, I think this person this person thinks you perceive them as yeah, kind of like their soulmate, your soulmate. Sorry, this is just so confusing to talk about, because I like it is a little bit confusing with the whole like with this question being like, yeah, it is a confusing question. It's hard to kind of keep track. So yeah, this person thinks you perceive them as your soulmate. And I think they also feel that way about you. Even if this person is in a relationship right now, I still think they think about you. Like they get reminded of you. Like when they see something, they get reminded of you. Like when they watch television, there might be certain actors that always remind them of you. Like and like there might be certain scents, like certain perfumes, that makes them think about you, because maybe you wore the same perfume. And so like I think this person is constantly reminded of you, and so they think about you all the time. And I think this person feels like you also think about them, like sometimes I think this person feels a little bit like whenever they have hiccups or something like that, they might think like maybe it's because you're talking about them. But I'm going to shuffle a little bit more and get a few more cards about how this person thinks you perceive them. How your crush thinks you perceive them. Okay, with the Four of Cups reversed. I think this person thinks you perceive them as a little bit bad with money. And that could be because that was maybe something you talked to this person about at some point. Like maybe that was also maybe something you kind of got in an argument with this person about. Like of course it's none of your business, and I think that was maybe you just gave this person advice on their economy, like their finances, and maybe this person took it the wrong way, or like got very sensitive about it, or something like that. I don't know what the argument was about, but I don't think it was about finances for most of you. Like for the majority of you, I think it was something else. I think it was something a lot more emotional. but I don't know. It could also have been that this person actually gave you advice on your finances, which hurt your feelings. Maybe mostly because it was coming from them. Like it was like that it was kind of like a little bit ironic that this person was giving you financial advice when they are like up to here with debt. Like then of course it kind of is a little bit like but I don't know what it was about, like, but maybe you then said to them like that they shouldn't be talking, and maybe they got mad about that because they felt like you were condescending towards them, but it was you who were being like that. It was them being condescending to you first, and so I don't know, but maybe that was also something they understood at the end of it, that they got mad over your reaction to something they said. So of course you are not to blame when you weren't the one who started the ball rolling. Like you know that of course you have every right to react to something with like when yeah, that if this person didn't want to hear something like that, like if this person didn't want to be a target, then they shouldn't have like it's all about like don't throw rocks if you live in a glass house, or like, I know that's not how, like that didn't sound right, but don't yeah, but yeah, I think that this I think this person understood at the end that they said something to you that was hurtful, that made you then like kind of say the same thing to them as just a reaction to show them, like to give them some of their own medicine, like, and I think they didn't really realize it at the moment. They just got furious that you would say something like that to them, but I think they understood it at the end of your argument, that you were right and that they were wrong. But I don't think they might have said, like, I don't think they said that directly. I don't think they owned it completely, but I think they got close enough to owning it. But yeah. With the Ace of Pentacles, it's kind of, I think this person feels like you perceive them as someone who starts a lot of projects but doesn't complete them, and maybe that's because you said that directly to them, that maybe they should, like, maybe you said that they should prioritize their time and maybe do the things that are the most important to them, and then maybe not getting involved in everybody else's projects too. Like this is maybe somebody who kind of likes to like I don't know. I don't know if this person kind of puts too much on their plate. Like they might get involved in different, like in all these different unions and stuff, where they might want to become chair in different unions, and they get really involved in the social work and stuff, and because they want to have like some kind of influence on it or something. I don't know. And maybe you said something like that maybe they shouldn't get involved in everything they encounter or something like that. That they don't have to. That they could slack off a little bit, and maybe they think you perceive them as someone who gets too involved in too many things at once, and someone who's not very good at prioritizing their time, and someone who gets busy doing things that aren't super important, and then ends up neglecting very important connections and friendships and relationships that they have with people, and that it's maybe also the reason why this kind of fizzled out between you two is because this person might have been too involved in too many things at once and didn't have the time or the energy to form a romantic connection with you. So yeah, with the Eight of Cups reversed, I think this person is a little bit traditional in certain ways, or a little bit conservative, maybe. And I think this person thinks you perceive them as maybe a little bit more conservative than they actually are. And I think it's because like sometimes they find it kind of cool to be conservative, or they might have felt it was very cool to be conservative at the time when you two were spending a lot of time together, and so this person might have voiced a lot of opinions that really fit the Conservative Party's point of view, and but this might have been a little bit more of a fluke for this person. Like it was an interest that came and then went away. Like it wasn't something that stuck completely or at all, and maybe this person isn't really that conservative anymore. Like they just found it to be interesting and like a little bit like they wanted to be someone who's conservative. Like they want like some people want to be religious, but then they try to be religious, like they try to go to church, or like they try to like pray and like stuff like that, and then they realize that they can't really uphold the whole religious lifestyle, that they end up being kind of like a phony in it, and they do it half-heartedly, and then they stop because they feel like they can't really maintain that. So I think the conservative, I think they tried to be conservative once, and then they just stopped being conservative. I don't know why this is relevant though, but for the reading. But I think this person thinks that you probably still perceive them as very conservative, and I think this person wants to somehow convince you otherwise, but if you two haven't had a lot of time to speak with each other for some time, or like then I think this person feels like it's a little bit hard to maybe correct that and make you realize that that's actually not their political point of view anymore. Like, I don't know why that's important for them to emphasize. I don't know, but with the Eight of Cups also, like reverse, like the reason why I'm like is that this is kind of like, when you look at this card upright, it's the opposite of conservative, because here's something old, something like that was the foundation of for like yeah, this is something ancient that's being broken down, like the conventions being like or the things that used to be conserved is taken up to account and being modernized and like broken down so that something new can grow, and like building a new foundation so that we can start afresh, and like that's like the opposite of the conservative sort of point of view. And so that's just where I'm like, I think this person is starting to become a little bit more modern, or a little bit more like more open to maybe some new ideas, like new ways to do things. It might even be like a kind of like into the I don't know, the liberal stuff now. But it's kind of like it's always different phases for this person, like phase, like a different, like that this was maybe a little bit of a phase, and then now they're trying on the whole liberal thing now, and seeing if that works out better, like if that makes more sense, like and so I think this is somebody who needs to try things in order to know if it fits them or not, and so this person might have gone through a lot of different like personality, like not different personalities. This person doesn't have multiple personality disorder, but like this person might have gone through different like identities to kind of figure out which identity fit them, like which made sense to them. And I think this person just needs to live in it before they can tell if it's actually their true, like a reflection of their true self. Like they need to live in those shoes. Like this person might have had an emo phase at some point in their life. Like they might have worn like they might have worn black and had like the eyeliner and like I don't know. They might also have had different like there might have been a time where they only wore suits everywhere they went. Like even at casual settings, they were just wearing a suit like casually. Which like I think this person just tries out different things to see what works. And I'm not like. I'm actually not like, I'm not spinning this in a negative way, because like one of the people that I actually adore the most in my life actually had that too. Like that this was yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that someone needs to try different types of expression, or different political ideas, like trying them out on their own skin and trying to like live in it before. Like I think it's actually a good way of like figuring out who you actually are. And this person might have also like started different educations, and then like realizing after half a year or something that they didn't really feel like that fit them, and I think that's actually a very good way to figure out what you actually want to be doing for the rest of your life, is to try and see if the glove fits, like, and then if it doesn't, then you can just move on to something else and try something else. And I think it's actually a very open-minded kind of way of going through life, where it's like nothing is out of limits, like everything is or off limits, that everything is just like that everything needs to be tried, like everything needs to everything needs to be explored before this person can tell if it's something they like or not. And yeah. So I don't even know why this was so important that it needed to come across in this reading. But I think this person might feel like you perceive them in a bit of a different way than they actually are now, especially if it's a little bit like if it's like more than half a year since you saw this person, then maybe they feel like they already have become a different person now, or that they feel like they have changed a little bit, where maybe maybe they are a little bit afraid that you wouldn't like that version of them that they are right now, like that if you fell in love with the version of them that they were 6 months ago, or like 3 years ago, or whatever, then maybe you wouldn't really pay attention to them now. Like if you had met them now, then maybe they fear that you wouldn't have even looked at them or wanted to talk to them. Like there's something, I don't know what this is about. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye.